Okay, so here it is, Matthew 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. And Judas begat Phares, and Zara of Thamar, and Phares begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram, and Aram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Naasson, and Naasson begat Salmon, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rachab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon, of her that had been the wife of Urias. And Solomon begat Roboam, and Roboam begat Abia, and Abia begat Asa, and Asa begat Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias, and Ozias begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Achaz, and Achaz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manasses, and Manasses begat Amon, and Amon begat Josias, and Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren, about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abiad, and Abiad begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, and Azor begat Sadoc, and Sadoc begat Achim, and Achim begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who was called Christ. And I'm going to point some things out after I read this next part. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations, and from David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations. 3 is the number of completeness in the Bible, and I was going to mention that Jesus in this list, you know what number he is? You didn't count him along the way?
Wait. I know.
14 times
Just
10.
guess. I wonder if you could.
Times 10.
14 and 14 and 14. I wonder what that could add up to this. 14 and 14. 4 and 4 and 4.
He's a 70, 12, 20.
No, 77. 77th. Now, you know the significance of the 3 sections of from Abraham to David? I'll tell you. Well, David was the king, of course. He wasn't the first king, but he was the first king that mattered. No, he was okay. Well, anyways, it was a king. And then 14 generations from David until the carrying away into Babylon. You know what happened at the carrying away into Babylon?
They carried people away to Babylon.
It was the end of the kings. And then from the carrying away into Babylon into Jesus. You know what Jesus was?
He's a king.
Right, he is the king of kings and all, but he was expected to be the king. This is the significance that the people of Israel thought. They thought he was going to be their next king. But then the other thing I was going to say is that it's interesting how that this line, see what it ends?
Leads to Joseph? What's up with that?
It goes to Joseph. It doesn't end with Mary.
No.
It ends with Joseph.
Did you know that?
Pretty interesting, huh? So, okay, then it says, now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise, when as his mother, Mary, was espoused to Joseph before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a man, and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately, or privily. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins. Now all this was done, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, And they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. Then Joseph, being raised from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord had bidden him, and took unto him his wife, and knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus.